How do you reverse tardive dyskinesia? Unfortunately, well, let me start like this. When you say reverse, if a person has just started developing symptoms of tardive dyskinesia, then you have to stop the medication as quickly and safely as possible. Hopefully your prescriber, you might need something really important for this, because coming off of an antipsychotic, if you just got put on it and you're starting to have tardive dyskinesia symptoms, you probably almost need to be inpatient to do this. And hopefully the people around you are smart enough to pick up that this is actually what's happening. You're developing tardive dyskinesia, and that they need to stop that medication right away, because the first intervention is stop the antipsychotic. And for most people, that is going to be right away. For some people, that could make things tragically worse, and they need to still taper that medication and bridge over to something else, hopefully in an inpatient setting. Let's see, where's the rest of this question? Okay, so now if you've got tardive dyskinesia, you've already came off the medication, and it's a calling card of you doing antipsychotics, well, I have not treated that. I've not had a successful, we're short-term treatment. You know, what I do is 8 weeks, 12 weeks. So the long-term where these things go is somewhat anecdotal. There's some fellows over in Gilder that had crossed the flaming swamp of Galilee. You know, like there's these sort of urban legend things that live out there that you know, and there's some stuff in the literature too, but it's not that promising. I know the orthomolecular giant, one of the ones I learned some things from along the way. His name was Dr. Cunyon, and he was a big proponent of using manganese, and I guess he had, tardive dyskinesia patients that he worked with. Unfortunately, he has crossed over at this point. At a very ripe old age, the guy lived well until the end. It was great. He was a smart cookie. There was a meta-analysis that evaluated the effect of ginkgo biloba, and they found, actually they were prescribing it for various attributes of the psychosis, and found that there was some benefit to the tardive dyskinesia. Then there's Botox. I don't know anything about how that's going to work or make it better or worse, but paralyzing the muscles that are caught, that are making the weird tics, the recurring tics. I don't want to judge it. It's making the tics that are not wanted, and I don't know how that goes for people. I just, some of this stuff I'm just learning and reading just as you are. And but I do know stopping the medications is the primary thing. We have seen people drifting off into that way that we got involved in, and then they didn't end up that way, or they had akathisia. The folks out there that know what I'm talking about know that's horrible too. Not quite as bad as tardive dyskinesia, but usually what this all is a product of you're having a toxic reaction to the medication in the first place. So of course you stop the medication, and then you hopefully are not left with something that's permanent neurological. You had something that was transient. And things that we've tried for akathisia, I'm not saying that any of these were like the gold star, like, oh, we got them all that way, but about 50-ish% of people responded to the NAD infusions, the NAD IVs. That was very, 50% is still pretty good, right? When you're dealing with a population that can't stand to be in their skin, and the only other thing that, there's nothing else out there to help them. So NAD infusions, and then outside of that, just unpoisoning and poisoning and unpoisoning and poisoning and poisoning. That could even be ozone, that's killing off bacteria and other pathogens, because like maybe that toxicity that you got from the drug was just that tipped it all over from other toxicities that are happening. So anyway, I look forward to more questions on that. Anyone that's had TD out there that has come to any sort of resolution with it, please, wherever you comment, please do comment, because I'd love to hear it. I do want to remind people that don't take medical advice from people you're talking to or think you're talking to on YouTube. This is information. the information that I have for you is based upon seeing a residential population for, at this juncture, 18 years, and making some determinations that most outpatient doctors don't get to see, right? Somebody prescribing, come back in 2 weeks. They don't know what water you've been drinking, what person you had an argument with or whatever. And by and large, we've controlled a lot of variables around that to focus in some really good information, but still, we don't know who you are as where your life has been and what is really real or true for you. Only you knew that. And again, don't change any medications based upon what you've heard from us, or even supplements. You know, you might want to get a practitioner even on those supplements before you start taking something that you have not been prescribed by someone. I do understand that there's not a lot of doctors that can guide you through this, and there's not even a lot of natural type-minded people that can guide you through this, and so you might have to experiment. I get that, but just know that we're not allowed to prescribe. We're not allowed to give medical advice through YouTube. All right, thank you. Have a very nice day or evening, and hope to see you on the next video.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. For information about Alternative to Med Center, give us a call at 888-984-9667.